The Encova Insurance Buckeye Postgame Show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, alongside former Buckeye Justin Zwick, here's your host, Brandon Beam.
It's a great day to be a Buckeye. Ohio State starts the season off with a bang, 14-7 victors over Texas. I am Brandon Beam. He is Justin Zwick. Jay-Z, happy college football Saturday to you, my friend. What a first show we're going to have today.
How about it, buddy? Man, the biggest game, to open up in the shoe, I think, in a very, very long time. And the Buckeyes don't disappoint. Go out and get a good one today. And I mean, from the crowd to the players, I think A+ is all around, even though there's a lot of things to fix. All you had to do is go out and have more points than them today, and they did what they had to do.
And I think that was the messaging all week, right? I mean, we had listened to Ryan Day in his radio show and during his availability during the week and his press conference. I'm like, he had to say just to win the game probably 100 times here this week. And, as we read through the box score and you're watching this game, Jay-Z, it was very apparent and evident that was the case, that there was a clear message. Like, I don't care if it's 7-0, which looked like it could be the case, right?
100%.
And so 14-7 victory for you, Jay-Z. I think it was also pretty obvious today that the game plan for Julian Sayin was to keep things inside of the rails, keep the car on the track, right?
1,000%. You got a guy starting his first game in that kind of atmosphere against the number one team in the country. And the game led itself to allow them to continue to do so. If it would have been flipped and we'd have been down, we would have seen him probably air it out a little bit more. But just the way things were going and the way our defense was playing, I think Ryan was just, we're okay.
Yeah,
it doesn't look great. We're getting some runs. We're getting stuffed. We're just, clock is running. We're not going to put him in a situation where it's a bad call and something bad will happen. Because it just seemed like it was that type of game where somebody's going to make a mistake, and Arch was the one to do that, with your man getting that interception, and putting
almost
them
the second one was Sonny there,
and almost
too,
another one, So, I don't think we wanted to put him in that situation, and luckily we didn't have to. Now, with that being said, and Ryan even talked about it in his, post game, maybe they could have put more on his plate because he looked legit out there. He looked like he should have been the quarterback who had a couple national commercials during the game because, other than a couple drops, the kid was on. He was on today,
Absolutely,
and nothing crazy downfield, but he was very accurate where he needed to be and put the ball in front of his receiver's hands, and that's very encouraging going into this, the rest of the season.
Absolutely, it is. And to your point, I think a lot of Ohio State fans came away today. Maybe you could have unshackled him a little bit earlier. Again, you didn't need to because of the way that the game was going, and then Arch Manning did have that turnover and that interception by Jermaine Matthews. Which was a fantastic play. By the way, hat tip to Jermaine Matthews. Great game that he played today. Coverage was outstanding. But, again, on the Julian Sayin front, you and I were talking about it so much in the second half. Like a couple of uncharacteristic drops, especially the first drive. Max Clare, right? Third and whatever it was, or maybe it was fourth down.
It was fourth down. They go play action, and, he puts the ball. Maybe he misses Jeremiah.
Sure.
But he put the ball into his receiver's hands right on the sideline, and everything we've heard about Max Clare is –
Sure
and don't get it twisted. He's gonna be fine, but it's just like we've seen the last 2 years with Jeremiah. First catch drops. Last year in first game, same thing kind of happened
against Marshall.
So I think
80-yard touchdown.
Exactly. He'd still be running today. Nobody was there, but I think early in that game, just the nerves, just everything that goes into it. Guys wanting to make a play so bad that they just don't let it come to them, and they try and just really make something big happen when they don't need to. Just make the catch, get the yards, and that would have been a totally different thing. That's fourth down. We're moving the clock. It's just a couple things here and there, but they handled it and they did what they had to do.
If I were to tell you that before the game, Ohio State would come out with 203 total yards, 126 of those through the air, 77 rushing yards, that they would have scored 14 points, would you have said Ohio State would have emerged victorious?
I don't think I would have.
I don't either.
Those numbers aren't great. But again, it's just the way the game went. And, Ryan, we talked about all he wants to do just win, baby, the old Al Davis saying. And that's what they had to do today. And they were able to get it done. And that defense, man, for return, for 8 new guys on the defense, Matt Patricia, hats off. He's got some freaks in that side of the ball, and he likes to get them all on the field. And we saw a bunch of young guys playing. It is really encouraging, for this defense to see first-time starters going out and, just getting the job done. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't a lot of big play sacks or this or that.
Didn't need to be, though.
Didn't need to be, but they just, how many fourth downs did we stop them? They were 1 for 5. 1 for 5. I mean, defensive staff has to be feeling really, really good about what they have.
We're going to check in with James Lauranitis in our next segment. I'm guessing that he's going to be feeling pretty good about his defense and what they were
in his room, too. I mean, those guys were all over the place.
I mean, we had talked so much into the lead up of the season, Jay-Z, about, Sonny Styles returning. And again, like, he only played 1 year of linebacker. It was his first year. He's still learning that. Arvell Reese is a guy who we've talked up all off season long. Like, that linebacker room today was nothing short of phenomenal. Arvell Reese today, 9 tackles, 4 solos. Sonny, 7 tackles, 3 solos. Also, Arvell with the sack there on that nice little look-back move, which fooled the offensive line. Peyton Pierce getting some play time, too. Like
C.J. Hicks at the end of the game with a big rush off the edge. I mean, that
forced Arch into a bad throw, which killed the game off.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, that's they just have so many weapons. And, I mean, it's just going to be really fun to watch the rest of the season as they just continue to grow. Because even on the defensive side, there's things to, clean up. I think Ryan talked about that touchdown, broken coverage. We didn't communicate correctly. And
Jermaine was there. Yeah. It was a nice ball.
Sometimes you're just going to lose. It's just how the game goes. But, I'm very excited.
I am too.
Yeah,
I think
awesome.
all the expectations going in, whole offseason, right? I mean, you're breaking in a new quarterback, new offensive coordinator. I know Brian Hartline's been here for forever. How is that going to look?
When everybody's going to be up in arms. This was so bad, boring.
No one is saying that, right? Especially here. Like if Texas postgame radio show might be saying a little bit different things about their offense, but it did not matter what the score was today. And Ohio State emerged victorious 14-7. Just from your perspective, Arch Manning, a ton of hype coming into the season. Some good plays, some bad plays, a little rushed. What were your takeaways of Arch's performance?
I was surprised, to be honest. I mean, first ball he threw, they roll him out, get him out of the pocket so he can see right in front of him, has a guy open, and puts it in the dirt. There's
decent guys in open areas today that just did not find the chest or the hands.
Didn't find the catch radius at all.
A lot of dirt balls today.
Yeah. So that surprised me. And I think he, of course, he handles himself very well. He wasn't up and down. Like, he was still the same guy each and every play. But, I thought he'd be a little bit more accurate just with, everything coming into the game. I know it's a Manning, and that, gets people to listen and clicks and all that sort of thing. But he's going to be a good player. Don't get me wrong. It's just today was, walking in that shoe with 107,000 people that's a little tough.
How about that too? 107,500.
Oh, okay. I missed the
107.5 today in the Horseshoe.
And
I don't know what the limit is, but they were pushing that today.
and they came to play as well. The crowd. You could tell he was shook. A couple false starts by the offensive line in big positions too. So the crowd gets their flowers today.
Yeah, for sure that they do. Penalty yardage today, very clean for Ohio State. Was almost not clean with a holding in the end zone that could have resulted in a safety, but didn't matter. There were offsetting penalties on that one. But, Ohio State very good today on the penalties. Only 2 for 15 yards. Texas 6 for 50, and a few of those being...
A few of those hurt them a little bit.
Pre-snap, all that stuff.
Yeah, and we got into, the fourth quarter before we really had, those couple penalties. So as a coaching staff, to come into that first game with a young team like this and have them hold their water and basically play a pretty clean game, that's another very encouraging thing for the staff.
Absolutely it is. By the way, today's broadcast is presented by Union Home Mortgage. Again, the final score today from the Horseshoe. Buckeyes 14, Longhorns 7s. Coming up next, we'll be joined by linebackers coach James Lauranitis as the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
What's up, everybody? It's Tyvis Powell. T-Bone and I talk Buckeyes Monday morning at 6 on The Fan.
You can join us Thursday at noon for the next Ryan Day Show presented by Roosters. If you've got questions about today's game or the upcoming matchup against Grambling, you can submit them via X at OSU Coach or go to OhioStateBuckeyes.com and click on the Ryan Day Show inbox icon. Again, the final score today from the Horseshoe, Buckeyes 14, Longhorns 7. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi. It's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Growing up in the family business, I've seen firsthand the joy and love that comes with finding the perfect engagement ring. For over 77 years, our family's been dedicated to providing the best quality, unmatched selection, and the guaranteed best price. From timeless classics to custom designs, we have the perfect ring for every love story. Let our family help you celebrate the moments that mean the most. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
Keep your summer fun going in a new Toyota Camry, America's best-selling car. It's all hybrid all the time with available all-wheel drive. Now through September 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on any new 25 Camry. Or lease a new Camry LE for just $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Buckeye fans expect a certain standard. That's true of the food they share on game day too, which is why Giant Eagle is always part of the game plan. With fresh, high-quality food and everyday savings, it's easy to tailgate like a champ or feed the ravenous fans at home. For long touchdown runs and effortless grocery runs, Giant Eagle is here. Giant Eagle, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
We are now joined on the postgame show by former Buckeye, now Buckeye linebackers coach. He is James Lauranitis. Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on a win. What a performance by your guys today all over the football field. I know you guys got to be feeling good after that 14-7 victory.
Yeah, I mean, you never really know what to expect going into week one. You know, the guys you go through camp over and over and over, and you get to go against your own offense, and, you know, you start to figure out kind of tendencies on both sides, right? So you're like, all right, there's a lot of anxiety going into week one, and for the guys to come out here and play, and I'm just proud. I'm proud of the unit. They kept fighting. The communication was great amongst the staff. Coach Patricia called a great game, and you know, just happy for Sonny and Peyton and Arvell that they were out there flying around. And, you know, as you guys know, there's a standard here for the Silver Bullets, and there's a lot to uphold. And I think the guys went out there and did a good job.
Yeah, they did that today, James. I can tell you guys had those guys ready to rock. You know, coming into the season, we didn't really know what to think about that defense with, you know, Matt Patricia being a first-year defense coordinator and not really knowing exactly how he's going to implement all these studs that you guys have, first-year starters, really. But you know, varying the 4-down, 5-down, you know, defensive line, that was your game plan coming in, I guess, just to kind of shut down that run game of Texas?
Yeah, you know, we knew that they had to be honest, I mean, we thought we'd feel a little more stretched than we did out of their backs. I have a lot of respect for their running back number 5. I think, you know, Wisner showed a lot of patience. We played him last year. You saw the one run that he bounced around the edge. You know, he's a very patient runner. Obviously having Baxter back, we didn't really know, you know, what the game was going to be, but I thought more stretch. They decided to kind of go more counter against us. And you're right, the 4-down, 5-down, stemming in and out of it. I think, you know, Coach Patricia allows the guys to make a lot of checks on the field. I thought Sonny handled a lot of it very well, getting the guys in the certain stunts and adjustments and things like that. And I knew, we all knew kind of Arvell had this ability to have the game that he did today.
It was something.
And the maturity of Arvell Reese and what, he has been able to kind of how he's grown, and Peyton Pierce has had a heck of a camp and getting him out there. So it was really good. Like, I think Coach Patricia put a lot of belief in the guys, and, obviously he's done it for a long time. So he's extremely smart. And look, it wasn't perfect. There's a lot of stuff out there that we got to correct off of, and I think the good thing is that we were able to get a win against the number one team in the country, a team that I believe is extremely good and will continue to go through the season and make a run. And, so I think for us to be able to correct off of that, feeling good after a win, but you got to also go back to the film room and say, look, guys, there's a lot of issues here we got to correct, right? So it's always better to do that after a win, as you know, versus after a loss.
He is linebackers coach James Lauranitis with us here on the postgame show. Coach, did you teach Arvell that little look off and then inside move that led to the only sack of the game? Was that in your arsenal? Where did that come from?
Look, I was the worst. We call it coffee house. I remember Steve Spagnuolo telling me we used to run it a little bit. Antonio Pierce, if you remember, in the Super Bowl actually hit Brady on it. And so, the whole idea, what Spags used to say to us was, you got to look back like you're taking a cup of coffee and then hit it. And let me tell you, the first few times we ran that in practice, we were terrible actors. And, but it was good. It was good little, delayed kind of blitz there. And it was a good job by him. And I'm just happy that there was plays in the game there, even on the one that we got arched down, but it wasn't a sack. Not rushing past the level of the quarterback. He spun back once he got to the level of arch and was able to kind of make the tackle there. And I just think that the guys were locked in. The focus on them. Look, as you know, when you go into a game like this week one, there's so much emotional energy that is spent just in pregame and the hype. I mean, pulling up for the walk, that's the most people I've seen for a pregame walk since I think when we were in 06, 1 versus 2 against up north. Like, it was packed. Buckeye Nation was ready for this one. So just happy that everyone was able to kind of lock in and control their energy and all that as they went about it.
Yeah, Ryan definitely gave the crowd their flowers. I think they, affected that game quite a bit today, which is awesome to see. You guys have a lot to build on, as far as the defensive side goes. I just want to ask you, you've seen Julian, all camp long. He's been the starter for, a couple weeks now. I don't think they put a ton on his plate today. That's probably the game plan coming in, and the game kind of went that way where you didn't need to. But you just, talk about just what you've seen from him, the growth that you've seen, him taking over that offense. It looks like the sky could be the limit, once they feel comfortable letting him kind of have those reins.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Julian has an extremely talented arm, and I thought he managed the game extremely well. You probably know better than me. And but looking at it though, and seeing him through camp, and it's like every practice there's a throw that happens. You're like, oh gosh, that was a beautiful throw. Like, he had one that I think Ennis today, right? Bi. Yeah. I trust Bi is going to make that catch 9 out of 10, right? So there are definitely plays out there. I mean, on both sides. You know what I mean? There's plays on both sides of the ball as always, but I think in order for Julian's growth, it's always good to go through it. And you're right. I mean, the flow of the game kind of felt like whoever was going to throw the ball more wasn't going to come out with the win. You know what I mean? It was going to be it kind of felt like an old school game that we were playing. And it was kind of like, we've got to manage this thing and get out of here with a W.
Yep.
And I think, you can go back and teach off it and really try to regroup and get back in the film room and learn as fast as you can. I think that'll be a really good test for the maturity of this football team. Getting back to work, focusing on stuff we need to correct, and then, as you always know, you can't believe your press clippings at any point. You just got to keep going, man. It's all about the process day in, day out.
Well, take tonight and enjoy this one, Coach. Have a good night with the wife and the kids, and we'll check in again down the road. Again, big congratulations to you guys on the massive victory.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I'm just looking forward to getting home and
kicking back a little bit
and watching some Clemson LSU. You know what I mean, and enjoying some football.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. Have a great night.
Yep, you too.
There goes linebackers coach James Lauranitis with us here on the postgame show. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Always and forever, your Ohio State flagship station.
WBNS-FM HD1 Columbus.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
How much do you think those coaches are relaxing tonight after today?
I think, they deserve it, but I think they're going to have a nice, relaxing night.
I do too. I think everybody,
as they well deserve.
Players, coaches,
Yes.
fans, if you were out there today over at Ohio Stadium, any one of the 107,500 of you, kick back tonight, relax, and watch some college football. Today's broadcast is presented by Union Home Mortgage. Again, the final score today from the Horseshoe. Ohio State takes down Texas 14-7. Coming up next, we're going to check your scoreboard from across the country as the Encova Insurance Buckeye Postgame Show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Hey, Buckeye fans, it's Paul Keels for Window Nation. Columbus, did you know you can get 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game if you replace all the windows in your home with Window Nation? This month, they're offering 50% off all window styles, plus no payments for 2 whole years. That's right, no down payment, no monthly payments, and no interest until 2027. Get big savings, plus 1-day installation with Window Nation, a proud partner of Ohio State Athletics. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com today.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Hear every Buckeye game every year. The Fan.
You can join us Tuesday night at 6 p.m. for our next Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. Our broadcast team, Big Daddy Paul Keels, Jim Lachey, Skip Mossick will break down today's game and also preview next week's matchup with Grambling. That's Buckeye Roundtable Tuesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Again, the final score today from the Horseshoe. Buckeyes 14, Longhorns 7. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
Love your Buckeyes? Love Donato's Pizza? Love cookies? Then you're really gonna love this. It's Donato's new Buckeye Cravings Combo. A large one-topping pizza served up with 4 decadent peanut butter frosted chocolate cookies, all for just $19.99. Perfect for game day or any day here in Buckeye Nation. Order your Donato's Buckeyes Cravings Combo today. More pizza, more cookies, more Buckeyes. Donato's. Gotta love more.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Always and forever your home of the Buckeyes. Home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. This is the Encova Insurance Buckeye Postgame Show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
4th and goal with the ball between the Texas 1 and 2. Those tight ends all get hunkered down. Roberts, that tight end, is going to line up as the fullback and an eye in front of Donaldson. Saying under center. 4th and goal with the ball inside the Texas 2. Handoff goes to Donaldson. Knifes into the end zone for a touchdown. C.J. Donaldson followed his blockers. He takes it into the end zone for his first touchdown as a Buckeye, his 24th in his collegiate career, and Ohio State on the board first, leading Texas 6-0.
Nice day at the office for new Buckeye C.J. Donaldson. Transferred in from West Virginia over the offseason, 19 carries, 67 yards, 1 touchdown. Just heard that from Paul Keels. Short of those today, though, Jay-Z in the horseshoe, we only get to see 3 touchdowns, but hey, they all count for 6 points, and Ohio State scored more than Texas.
Amen to that, brother. That's all you got to do, and it's good. He's a big back. He's going to be fun to watch this year.
He was running hard today,
He was. He didn't have a lot of room. Maybe early on, I think they missed a couple creases that made the offensive line open for him, but that's just adrenaline, trying to get downhill, not wanting to bump. That's just they're going back to training so they don't get yelled at. You got to get downhill quick.
Yes, coach.
Yes, at some point they'll have some, a little patience and find those things, but a nice day for the first game.
Absolutely it was. I thought it was a good day from the offensive line, too. Yeah. Julian saying not under duress much, and I know that they, how's Colin Simmons over there, and they have Anthony Hill. And
that was a heck of a defensive line they went against.
It's a heck of a defense. Texas's defense was awesome today. They were very good. Again, limited Ohio State to 203 yards, but Ohio State emerged victorious. So I thought round of applause for the offensive line.
Yes, always.
Know that they were getting a lot of hype, Jay-Z, this offseason. Deep, Austin Sareveld being named a captain of this team. Thought he was going to be the starter at right tackle. And he's like, Austin Sareveld's playing so well. Let's put him at left tackle. And then Phillip Daniels, nice job today at the office.
Yes.
First time transferring in from Minnesota. I was a little bit surprised that he was the starting right tackle. And I know that Coach Day had talked about that maybe a little bit earlier in the week. He's going to get a lot of reps, and he started and he played well. Didn't notice him, so that's good anytime that you're watching tackles.
Well, 100%. And coming into the season with a young quarterback and young backs, having that offensive line that you kind of feel good about is huge. Because, if Julian's back there getting chased around every time he goes back to pass, it's a whole different ballgame. So they really did a good job giving him time.
And you can obviously speak to that, right?
I remember. I still have nightmares. The third and 8 play action passes, just people raining down on you.
That's got to feel bad. That's got to be a bad situation to be in.
It's not fun, but even then, back then, we were young, and it just is what it is. By the end of the year, it was a whole different team, and I expect that out of this team. Ryan talked about both of these teams are going to look different when they play again, I think is what he said. Yeah. Because he's planning on seeing them down the road. But, these guys are going to continue to grow and just get better throughout this season. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely, it will. Teddy, let's check our college football scoreboard. A lot going on here. First weekend in college football. Were you watching Thursday, Friday? It's just the whole weekend is dedicated, right?
Yeah, you watch as much as you can in between Bluey and everything else I have to watch at home.
I get that. We're on a big like Mickey Mouse clubhouse.
I'm trying to get to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
we also do the little Spider-Man or whatever.
The Spidey Friends or whatever.
That's a good one. If you're out there, you're a parent, you got a young child at home. We're here to give you all your TV.
My girls always give me the mean face when we're going to watch football because Daddy only gets this for so many months a year.
And mine took the remote away from me today and turned the TV off on like a huge third down. I'm like, no, you can't do it. This is a bad time to do this. Buckeyes weren't the only team in action. We will start in the Big Ten finals from earlier on in the week. How about these? Last night, Michigan State 23-6 victors over Western Michigan. Illinois 52, Western Illinois 3. On Thursday, Rutgers taking down OU 34-31. Minnesota moving to 1-0 on the season, 23-10 victory over Buffalo. Nebraska 20-17 to Cincinnati. That was a very fun game on Thursday. And then Wisconsin shutting out the Miami Redhawks 17-0 in their opener.
Go ahead, Luke Fickle up there in Wisconsin land.
Yeah, for sure.
What do we have today? We have Maryland 39-7 over FAU today, I think, right?
Good season, good starter.
The Boilermakers. The Boilermakers come out strong today.
How about that? Let's stay there real quick because Purdue all over in-state rival Ball State. Here's Tim Newton from Learfield.
On looking to throw. Throws over the middle. Pass is caught. Touchdown Boilermakers. Ahmad Branch. Or make that Michael Jackson III with his first touchdown as a Boilermaker. And Purdue stretches the lead to 27-0.
How about that? 31-0 the final today for the Boilers.
Come on. I hate that horn they have out there, though. No, it's the worst.
You don't like that?
That's the worst.
I do like the drum, though. The drum is
The drum's fine, but that horn gets after you a little bit.
Games going on currently in the Big Ten. Penn State, no problems with Nevada right now. It is 27-3 currently at half over there in Happy Valley. Starting in the second quarter, how interested are you in Oregon this year? Because they lead Montana State 17-0. Dante Moore transferred in from UCLA. Just all kinds of quarterback roulette going on. Nico moves to UCLA. Their quarterback moves to Tennessee. Dante Moore then leaves, goes to Oregon. It's a wild ride right now.
It's hard to keep up with all this stuff, but, Oregon, I think Dan Lanning's a great coach, and I think he will have his team ready to go this year. It's just a matter of hitting on those portal guys when they come,
For sure.
Especially when you're putting, all your chips in one basket there with the quarterback. And I think they're going to be a tough team to beat this year once again.
I mean, you could just miss so easily in the transfer portal, Jay-Z. Like we saw it with Florida State last year, right? And then Kurt Signetti on the opposite hand, he hit. And look at what Indiana did as well. We'll actually take you to Bloomington right now. Indiana on top of Old Dominion, middle of the third quarter, getting ready to flip to the fourth there. They're currently up 27-7. But the quarry over in B-Town was rocking, all thanks to a big punt return.
Jonathan Brady is back deep for Indiana. Here's the punt on its way. It's a short kick. And bounces down. Now it's taking a great Old Dominion roll. And here comes Brady. He catches the ball on the bounce. He's at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He's got a caravan. 40-yard line. Down to the 30. Down to the 20. The 10. 5. Touchdown. Jonathan Brady runs it 90 yards on the return after a bouncing ball came right up into his hands. He cut to the outside and takes it all the way.
Don Fisher from Learfield there. It's always fun to get the crowd engaged on it.
Yeah, I mean, from a good punt for Old Dominion to 90 yards to the house.
Boom, they call that the boomerang.
Yeah, there you go.
How about Eddie George's guys in Bowling Green starting off the season?
Did you see a lot of Buckeyes up there supporting Coach
really
George
cool.
and really cool. I think they took the kickoff back, right?
They did, opening kickoff.
Yeah,
what a way to start the season.
Hey, man, let's go Falcons.
Games a little bit later in the Big Ten here at 6 o'clock in about 45 minutes. Iowa, we'll see if they actually have a quarterback.
They got one that can throw the ball this year.
They do. At least for now. We'll see what happens. They take on the University of Albany at 6 o'clock, 7:30 in the Big Ten. New Mexico travels to Michigan. Day number 1 of the Bryce Underwood era up there for them. 7:30, Missouri State travels to USC. And they're not done yet because we added West Coast teams in the Big Ten. For you sickos out there, 11 o'clock this evening, Utah and UCLA, and then Colorado State and Washington. Will you be up for those games?
Not a chance.
Yeah. I get
Those
it.
kids wake up no matter what you do the night before.
I will be watching LSU and Clemson, and then I'll be lucky to make it to maybe halftime for those later games. Top 25 games around the country, finals from earlier on. Only other one game that was going on that got to final. The Battle of the Orange down at Atlanta. Tennessee moves past Syracuse 45-26. That's a good-looking Tennessee team. We had that on the opposite side of the television that the Buckeyes were on.
Yeah, they were playing fast and pretty violent. The few plays that we were able to tune into and really pay attention to. But who was it? Syracuse tried to make that a game there. It was an 8-pointer there for a little bit in the fourth quarter, and Tennessee does enough to run away with it.
They pulled away. Georgia right now, no problem with Marshall. That game getting ready to go to halftime. It is 21-0 currently for the Dogs. Iowa State up 27-7 over South Dakota at halftime. And then the big one that we really didn't know much about either team, Kalen DeBoer, year number 2. For him down at Alabama, missing out on the playoff last year. A lot of noise around that program, right? But they're Alabama. They're going to be back. They're good. Florida State, one of the teams last year we were talking about missing in the transfer portal. Mike Norvell back, a lot of pressure. Thomas Castellanos comes over from Boston College. Currently 17-7 in favor of the Seminoles at halftime. 17-7, Florida State leads Bama. How do you think Roll Tide Nation is handling the first 30 minutes of this game?
They are in trouble right now. They are probably in their feelings a little bit. That first drive, it looked like, all right, here's Bama. This is what we expect. And then Florida State just started, all right, we're going right down the field and scoring on you. That's not going to be a good one if they lose this game.
No, it's not.
No.
Best of luck to the Bama fans out there.
Yes.
Going to enjoy the second half again. Florida State leading 17-7 in that one. The big one later on. Number 9, LSU travels to the other Death Valley, as Brian Kelly calls it. They go to Clemson, take on the number 4 ranked Clemson Tigers. How do you feel about this one? Because Clemson, a lot of preseason love, pressure on Brian Kelly. Don't believe he's won a season opener yet during his time at LSU.
He's taking a lot of terrible pictures in those recruiting things, though.
Yeah, they weren't great.
This is an interesting one. The quarterback for Clemson,
Cade Klubnik.
Yeah, Klubnik. And I think he had the most touchdowns in the NCAA last year. I mean, their offense should be running. It's good to see Dabo having a preseason team that can maybe make some noise this year. On the other side, LSU, I don't think Brian's gotten a win here to start the season. I think he would really enjoy one because if not, he might be hearing some chirping as well.
For sure.
Just depending on how the rest of the season ends up, but.
Should be a fun one, though.
Yeah,
that's what the Beam household TV is going to be on a little bit later. Max scores from earlier today. Again, told you that Purdue, no problem with Ball State. Kent State, 21. Merrimack, 17. And how about Toledo? Hung very close with Kentucky a little bit earlier on, 24-16. Kentucky getting the victory.
Bob Stoops, or not Bob Stoops. Golly, it was
Mark Stoops.
Mark Stoops, yeah. There's so many Stoops. Yeah.
All from the great state of Ohio.
Yeah, all from the great city of Youngstown. Mm-hmm. That's right, but good for them getting the win to start the season.
Nothing like a college football Saturday. And then you get tomorrow and Monday as well on the long weekend, which is fantastic. Today's broadcast is presented by Union Home Mortgage. Again, the final score today from the Horseshoe. Ohio State takes down Texas 14-7. Coming up next, we're going to hear from head coach Ryan Day as the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tyvis Powell and I talk Buckeyes Monday morning at 6, only on The Fan.
Next week, Ohio State hosts Grambling. Our statewide coverage from Columbus will begin at 2 p.m. with the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show. Again, the final score today from the Horseshoe. Ohio State beats Texas 14-7. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
The Electrical and Teledata Professionals of Central Ohio, represented by IBEW Local Union 683 and the Central Ohio chapter of NECA, are proud to support our team for another electrifying season. Whatever your electrical and teledata needs, you'll be a winner by getting wired by our professionals. Spearheading these state-of-the-art services is our Electrical Trades Center in Columbus, Ohio. Implementing both classroom and on-the-job instruction, they assure continued top performance. To find an electrical and teledata professional, visit www.cohneca.org. We'll see you at the game.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken, so what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb, coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Smith and Ennis wide right, Tate wide left, tight end Kazmarek was the slot left, moves slot right. Sahan in the shotgun, receives the football, fakes a handoff, looks to throw. Sahan will pump that one deep down the right side, left sideline, Tate with it, taken down in the end zone for a touchdown. Carnell Tate gathered it inside the 4, and a pass came down the left side Tate had to fight with a defender to get that ball as it hung in the air. Derek Williams, the safety, is who was jockeying for him. Carnell Tate hauls in a touchdown pass from Julian Sand, and it's 13-0 Ohio State.
Yeah, a little underthrow there from QB 10, Julian Sand, but you got a guy like Carnell Tate. The old double catch, Jay-Z. That was a nice one.
Yeah, you just you want to give any of these receivers a chance. You know, throw that 50-50 ball up. And Ryan talked about it. You know, I heard in his post game is just put some air underneath of it. Let these guys go out and make a play. And Carnell did. He did right there, going up and making that play. Caught it twice, I think, on the way down. But
double catch.
What a great play by him.
Absolutely, man.
He made a couple great catches today.
Yes,
I mean, that one coming out of the end zone, it didn't really matter, but it was a nice catch. Got us a first down.
The one on the sideline there where he was making sure that no one was ripping that ball away from him. He was extended and had, I don't know what the PSI was for him on that pressure on the football, but that ball was not moving.
It wasn't coming out.
No, it wasn't. So that was your game winner right there. 14-7 being the final score. We were talking a lot today about Julian Sand and expectations now for him. Looked awesome. Here was Ryan Day talking about Julian Sand and kind of the poise and everything that came with today for him.
I said in the locker room, I thought he handled himself well. I thought he took care of the ball, made some throws when he needed to. A couple times when it wasn't there, he did not force it. Could we have opened it up more in the second half? Yeah, but I thought Brian called an unselfish game. I thought the defense was playing well. When we got the ball back on the 10-yard line there with 8 minutes to go, we ended up running off about 4 minutes off the clock. And we thought that was important. We talked about it this week. In week one, we can't beat ourselves. We wanted to let them beat us. And, for a first-time starter, you just don't want to put them in that situation. So hindsight says we did the right thing, but you're never too sure.
And he actually went on later in the press conference to say we could have given him more because those lights flicked on, man. 107,000 people today at the Horseshoe, and he was awesome. Like, the numbers may not say it. It wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, but it didn't need to be. He did everything really well today.
Yeah, I mean, when they asked him to throw the ball, he put it on the money.
Yes,
for the most part, and that's all you can ask of your quarterback. I to be honest, was expecting him to make a couple of those throws that were short, like Arch did, and he didn't have it. So I think that I talked about earlier about being encouraging moving forward, where we're going to be able to put some stuff on this guy's plate, and we can trust him to put the ball in the right area, make the right read, and give his receiver a catchable ball. And this big of a game to have that confidence coming out of it, I mean, they got to be feeling really good about it.
Yeah, because that's going to be one of the better defenses that they
100%.
play in college football. So it was a great day at the office for Julian Sand. What about, you and I can do it in our next segment for Buckeye Leaves, but I think argument for defensive MVP today, Arvell Reese. Here was Ryan Day on Arvell's performance.
Arvell has a lot of versatility. When you get up on Arvell, you can just see he has all the traits it takes to be a dominant linebacker. And so what I saw out there today was a guy who was running sideline to sideline from the linebacker position at the second level. But then also you saw him at the end when KJ went down. He was playing up front and rushing the passer and putting pressure on the quarterback. So he can do all those things. This is probably the most he's played in a big game like this, and he'll learn a lot from this. We'll see how he grades out.
A lot of the offseason talk, too, Jay-Z, was about how multiple Matt Patricia can get, right? And, shopping for grocery ingredients, and he's got a pretty full pantry, and especially when you can unleash a guy like Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles, and even CJ Hicks was huge there at the end that forced Arch into that bad throw, which pretty much ended the game.
Yeah, I mean, Arvell just right away in that first half popped off the screen. I mean, he's just chasing, making plays. I mean, I love when they put him inside to do a pass rush on 3rd and long. Those guards aren't used to somebody that quick who can bend that much and just, really make a play. So what they're able to do with him is amazing. And then Peyton Pierce, a younger guy getting in the game. I mean, you've got C.J. Hicks coming off the edge.
Jarquez Carter was in the game. We saw Devin Sanchez late in this game as well.
So, I mean, how much confidence do you have in these young guys to put them in big spots in a game against the number 1 team in the country? But those linebackers, we heard a lot about it coming in, and they played up to their billing today.
Game number 1 of the season done. I'm going to much look forward to seeing that linebacker room growth. That's game number 1 for these guys, all right? Let's not get out of control yet, but those guys are going to
It's going to get out of control because they're going to be so good.
Yeah, those guys are going to have a lot of fun this year. What about the atmosphere today? Ryan Day adamant at thanking every single person who was loud and rocking today at the Horseshoe.
Just want to start out by giving Texas a lot of credit. The number one team in the country, and Sark and what they do, a great team. But I also want to thank the fans. What an unbelievable atmosphere. From, driving in this morning from my house, seeing everybody at game day, at big noon kickoff, seeing people around the stadium, tailgating, and then the atmosphere in the stadium when we came out for warm-ups. I mean, there wasn't very many empty seats. And for a noon kickoff, to have that many people in the stadium was amazing. And so for an atmosphere like that, week one, to bring everybody together was great for our team. And I think it made a huge difference in the fourth quarter. So I want to thank, I say all the time, it takes everybody. And the fans certainly brought it today. And, man, I'm just proud of our guys. Just a gritty win to start the season.
Responsible for some penalties on the Texas front, too. Yeah. So they did play their part, Jay-Z. And I know we were listening to the radio broadcast, but before I got here, was listening on the TV, was watching game day and Lee Corso's final send-off. I mean, there were 107,000 people there before they even took the field. Like, it was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and you heard James talk about the walk and just the amount of people that were there to show support and let the team know that they had their backs today. I'm hoping Ryan has had a chance to take a deep breath, because it sounds like he was still going a little bit like, woosah, that game is over with. You got the win. But it's awesome because he talked about it going into it. With a noon game, you really got to ramp that crowd up and just like, we need you here, because get in there early, because, it's an early start to the day for those guys.
Number one team in the country coming in here.
He talked it up, and then his team came to play and the crowd came to play, and we're going to need that all year long, because it did make a difference. You saw a couple false starts and, just rattling a young team and a young quarterback.
Absolutely, man. It was a great performance by every single person today over at the Horseshoe. Today's broadcast is presented by Union Home Mortgage. Again, the final score today, Ohio State takes down Texas 14-7. Coming up next, we're going to wrap things up and hand out some Buckeye leaves as the Encova Insurance Buckeye Postgame Show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Keep your summer fun going in a new Toyota RAV4, America's best-selling SUV. Now through September 2nd, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.99 on RAV4 Hybrid, excludes plug-ins, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Love your Buckeyes? Love Donato's Pizza? Love cookies? Then you're really going to love this. It's Donato's new Buckeye Cravings Combo. A large one-topping pizza served up with 4 decadent peanut butter frosted chocolate cookies, all for just $19.99. Perfect for game day or any day here in Buckeye Nation. Order your Donato's Buckeyes Cravings Combo today. More pizza, more cookies, more Buckeyes. Donato's. Gotta love more.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan.
Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join American Electric Power, Donato's Kroger, the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/BuckeyesCare. Again, the final score today from the Horseshoe. Ohio State takes down Texas 14-7. More of the Encova Insurance Buckeye Postgame Show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
We have acres of brand new Chevys, Chryslers, Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram vehicles, as well as used cars and trucks that you're looking for at the Jeff Weiler Columbus Auto Mall in Canal Winchester. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can find it at one of our 23 other locations. So come shop the lot or view over 2,000 cars right at your fingertips at JeffWeilerColumbusAutomall.com. Plus, use Weiler Direct to see monthly payments, value your trade, and get pre-approved. Rooted in family, driven by you.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag #BuckeyesCare.
What's up, everybody? It's Tyvis Powell. T-Bone and I talk Buckeyes Monday morning at 6 on The Fan.
This is the Encova Insurance Buckeye Postgame Show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Minute 34 on the clock. 4th and 5, Texas at the 50. Longhorns have Livingstone. One of two wide to the left. Single flanker Wingo to the right. Weisner in the backfield to the right of Arch Manning. 4th down, Texas operating for the 50-yard line. Manning gets the snap, drops it as 40, and he's grabbed by C.J. Hicks, flails a pass that's caught by Andrews out on the left flat where he's tackled at the Ohio State 48 by safety Caleb Downs, shy of the conversion, and the Buckeyes will take over on downs. They completed the pass, but not far enough upfield. And Ohio State's defense, which has stood strong all day, stands strongest when it's needed the most.
Jay-Z, I know you and I and Ted back there during that, like, all right, Arch Manning's going down. C.J. Hicks has got him. Game over. Like, oh, pass is complete. You and I are looking at each other like, well, where's...
To the 48-yard line. Yeah, where was the line of scrimmage?
Where was the ball at? Who knows what's going on? Yeah, and then they ultimately...
he left us hanging there for a second. Like, well, was it a first down or not?
That's why Paul's the best, because we were all looking at each other like...
On the edge of our seats.
Did they stop him or did they get the first down? It was great stuff. Awesome performance today by the defense, right? I mean, it 100%. Was just stellar. And everything going in, and I know that... You know, Nick Saban calls it rat poison, and Arch Manning's not listening to that. But to have all the preseason hype be on Texas, right? Texas and Penn State. Those are the two teams in college football going in. To have a performance like that today from the defense with all these question marks, 8 guys leaving, only 3 returners. What a day that the Silver Bullets had. It was nothing short of stupendous.
No, I mean, and you look, I mean, what, one of 5 on 4th down? I mean, I think they were 4 or 15 or something on 3rd down. I mean, like, that's awesome. You're bending but not breaking, and there never felt like a time in that game where it's like, oh man, we're outmatched here. Or
no,
oh boy,
and Texas would go tempo and would get you from time to time, and especially that that touchdown pass, like it was good coverage by Jermaine Matthews, and then you're like, well, they have good players too. Texas, the number one
all
team
we've heard about is how better their roster is than ours, and how they're going to run us. And, so they're going to make a play. But, yeah, the defense, I think, held strong all day long. We talked about Arvell. I mean, Jermaine Matthews, seemingly another lockdown corner that we have here, and the best in America. I think those guys like to call themselves. IGB played great. Caleb's doing his thing. And then actually, maybe one of the better things is the other 2 safeties, McClain and
Jalen McClain played awesome.
And Styles. When you're able to let Caleb kind of roam and do some different things, that makes it that much harder. On an offense, and man,
I'm a roamer, coach. He just let me roam.
Yeah, just let him do his thing. But it's special.
He was great today. Yeah. All the Buckeyes defensively were really, really great. Teddy, let's hand out some Buckeye leaves.
It's time to hand out some Buckeye leaves.
So that portion of the program where we just name dudes. You can name whoever you wanted to today. I think we named a lot of them right there. IGB, really good game. Arvell, of course. I think for me, probably defensive MVP. Jalen McClain, wow, what a game.
12 tackles or something along those lines. I mean, the kid was all over the place. Donaldson on the offensive side. I mean, not a ton of room, but a lot of powerful runs. Hard to bring down. He's able to push it in, for our first score down on the goal line. I thought he ran really hard today. Julian Sain, first-year quarterback. You got to give him some love, going out and doing what he has to do, manage that game perfectly. I thought could have been a lot better numbers-wise. Some drops early games. That kind of stuff happens, but he didn't let it get him down, and he kept putting the ball where it needed to
Which
be.
I think is what all that it comes down to, right? Putting one foot in front of the next. And
quarterback mindset. You forget about that last one, and we're on to the next one.
That's why you're so good at golf.
Yeah, something like that.
You just forget about the bad shots and all the shanks, and all right, I'm going to place this ball right onto the green
something like that. Yeah.
I'll stick with the offensive side. I mean, I know that JJ was bracketed. He was open a couple of times. Maybe Julian will want some of those back, but still 6 catches, 43 yards. It's a good blueprint I thought the Texas defense had again against them. They did that same thing in the Cotton Bowl, though. 1 catch for 3 yards. So you could tell that at points in time that Julian wanted to go.
Yeah, they were trying
4.
to get to him, and on the other side, on that same kind of front, I think Brian Hartline, for the most part, I like what he did today. I think Ryan knew that it was going to be kind of a patient game, and they were able to do it. And I'm sure there's times where Hartline wanted to just let that ball rip and just wanted to, just let it fly. Because he's an older receiver, he likes to use his guys. But for him to be able to stay within himself and be like, no, we need to run some clock here. We need to just put ourselves in a position to, let our defense win this game for us like they have all game. I think that was nice.
How about the tight ends too? And again, I'm trying to be better. It's my football goal this year to be better at watching the tight ends and what they do. Because Keenan Bailey does a fantastic job with them. They're awesome. Even I know we get carried away with Max Clare and what is he going to do receiving wise. Like, go back and watch some of the blocks that his tight ends were putting today on those runs. So they did it.
Kazmir, Christian. I mean, and that room is amazing, and it just allows the offensive staff to do so much more. They'll bring 3 or 4 tight ends into the game, at times, and it's like, what do you do as a defense? Because these guys can all go out and catch the ball and do different things, and I mean, it's tough on a defense.
Keenan Bailey will tell you too. Like, we got great wide receivers here, but look. National championship game against Notre Dame. We had 4 tight ends on the field at the end.
Yeah.
I love it. These guys have a little friendly rivalry going on. Caden McDonald, too. A lot of offseason hype about him, Jay-Z. A lot of talk about the defensive line. K-Mac played pretty awesome today. 8 tackles, just gobbling things up in the middle. Also making a tackle downfield like 12 yards down the field. I'm like, that wouldn't be a fun guy to get tackled from behind.
You just hear him coming from the back.
Who is this large man tracking me down?
But for a really relatively unknown defensive line, I thought they played really good today. There wasn't a ton of big hits or sacks or this, but they held that line of scrimmage pretty nicely and were able to hold them to. They didn't open it up on the run game. They got some yards, but it wasn't something that we felt in danger of.
I think you and I are both comfortable in saying Buckeye leaves to all the fans in the stadium today.
100%. Nicely done, everybody.
I mean, you could feel it all week, right? You and I did some local shows earlier in the week, and the Blue Angels that flew over today rattled my house.
That's awesome.
I always enjoy that. Yeah, our 2.5-year-olds are big, scary planes. Like, they were scary, and they were loud. Jay-Z had a great time this week. You're not going to be here next week, but we will catch you for what is it, the 3rd game when the Bobcats of Ohio come into town.
For the Bobcats.
Had a great time. Yes. What a way to start the season.
What a way, yes. This is a great start to the season. Very exciting.
Couldn't have asked for anything better, really. I mean, you can, but a win's a win.
Could have been 45-0, but yeah.
Let's not get picky, all right? Let's not get picky on this. Great first game. Awesome first show. Have an awesome week, and we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks.
Sounds good.
The executive producer of Ohio State Radio Sports is Skip Mossick. On behalf of our studio producer, Panama Teddy Holbrook, and for Justin Zwick, I'm Brandon Beam, inviting you to join us Tuesday night at 6 for Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King, and then Thursday at noon for the Ryan Day Show presented by Roosters. Next week, the Buckeyes host Grambling. We're going to be on the air with the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show beginning at 2 p.m. Ohio State football has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance and by Bob Evans Farms. Once again, the final score today from the Horseshoe. Ohio State defeats Texas 14-7. Today's broadcast was presented by Union Home Mortgage. Thanks for listening. This is the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physician for Ohio State Athletics. This has been Buckeye Football from Learfield.
And brought to you locally by State Farm, your Central Ohio Toyota dealers, and by the Diamond Cellar on your home of the Buckeyes. Live and local weekdays beginning at 6 a.m. with T-Bone and Ty